Harvard Business Review is releasing an in-depth, all-encompassing book on Taylor Swift's business savvy, examining her strategic moves as a fearless leader since the age of 13. The concept for the book was conceived by author Kevin Evers in early 2022, and it was completed 2 years later. The more I researched her, the more I found myself in awe, he shares over Zoom from his New York home. In his book, There's Nothing Like This, Evers highlights that Swift's success was not the result of luck or an overnight phenomenon. A determined, hard-working 13-year-old girl used her charisma, confidence, boldness, and innate abilities to set the foundation for a long-term career. He recalls a moment when Swift told an experienced songwriter, "I'm not sure my audience would say something like that." She also informed her record label that she would stay late after meet and greets to shake hands with 100,000 fans. She made the most of MySpace and vlogging. Her success wasn't a guarantee, Evers notes. In fact, it's remarkable that she broke into country music at the time. Evers walks readers through each phase of her career, detailing the obstacles Swift faced and placing her work within the context of each album. He writes that country music became dominated by male artists in Stetson hats and trucker caps, making it especially difficult for female artists like Swift to make it. Swift met Scott Borchetta, an executive at Universal Music, who was planning to leave and launch his own label, Big Machine. Borchetta promised her a deal but asked her to wait a year. She agreed, and the two worked together to develop their brands over 6 albums. In 2017, however, Swift sought control over her masters, while Borchetta wanted to preserve the market value of his business, partly driven by her discography. Giving up Swift's masters would be like selling land, but telling the buyer they can't have the house on it, Evers writes. No one had ever attempted to re-record all of their masters. Swift took the risk, and it paid off. While Evers draws comparisons to Beatlemania, he argues that Swift had a much steeper path to navigate. There are many parallels to what the Beatles did, but I would argue the two aren't directly comparable, he explains. The Beatles were operating in a monoculture, while the industry Swift has been working in has gone through major disruptions. These changes include the rise of digital music and streaming, as well as genre shifts, all while staying true to herself. I would place her at the pinnacle of the music world for that. It's like comparing quarterbacks from different eras. Evers, a senior editor at Harvard Business Review, sifted through legal documents, articles, and books for his research. The millennial father wrote the book while attending Taylor Swift's record-breaking Eras tour with his daughter, Maisie. I watched my daughter's admiration for Taylor Swift grow, and I began to understand how she connects with her fans, he says. I saw how she builds personal connections, and I could see it reflected in my daughter's eyes. When asked to sum up Swift's career in a single word, Evers chooses anti-fragility. Resilience is a great word, he says. But when I think of resilience, I think of something that can endure pressure. Anti-fragility goes beyond that. It's not just about surviving, but growing stronger through adversity. Swift fully embraced pop music with 1989. She rebounded from public cancellation in 2016 with Reputation. She showcased her literary talents in Folklore and Evermore. And she re-recorded her masters. Evers chronicles it all and explains how this unicorn kept rising to the top. The title, There's Nothing Like This, is a nod to her song, Miss Americana and the Heartbreak Prince. I thought it needed to be a lyric, Evers explains. It had to fit the theme of the book, and There's Nothing Like This perfectly captures the essence of a generational artist. There will never be another Taylor Swift. That's how it goes.